I'm the coordinator of Adopted Grandparent, and what my job entails is emailing students and signing them up, organizing with the nursing homes, like what programs we're going to have going there and how many students and what activities they'll be doing. Normally for the program we have around 300 volunteers a semester, and they usually go for around 24 hours for the entire semester.
My name is Benjamin Truesdale, and my community service is being a group leader for the Mentor Oswego program here at SUNY Oswego. What we do is we work with some of the kids' sociability skills, some of the mild at-risk kids down in the middle school, do activities, have homework dates, we try to keep it educational. Probably some of the biggest things I've learned is just how to work with kids. I plan to be a teacher, so it's really helping out with working with students, getting hands-on experience, and also I'm huge on personal growth, so just any situation getting put in that and growing personally is what I'm all about.
What's up? I'm Ian Cohn. I studied in Melbourne, Australia for 5 months. It was a great experience. I met a lot of awesome people from all over the world. I traveled the whole country. I went to Tasmania, I snorkeled the Great Barrier Reef, I went bungee jumping, went to Southeast Asia. It was a great experience. I had a lot of fun. I missed a lot. I would definitely recommend students take this opportunity while they're still in school, because it's hard to travel and explore like that once you're on your own, and it's an expensive process, and the best way to do it is to go somewhere and study and get credit for what you're doing.
So I work at Pathfinder Dining Hall. I'm a group leader there, and I'm kind of in charge of making sure everything out in the dining hall is running smoothly while the managers are in the back doing their thing. Through my experience at Pathfinder, I've got a lot of teamwork skills, leadership skills. Working with a lot of people really is what I've gotten out of this. You work with all different types of people, the customers, the employees, the managers. So that's definitely prepared me for future jobs working with all sorts of different people. And I think that it's definitely beneficial for students to have a job on campus because it's convenient, pretty close to all the residence halls. Plus, when you're working with the school, you're learning while you're working, and you can really build your resume that way. There's so many jobs on campus that you can do, and it definitely gives you a lot of recommendations later on when you're going for grad school or different jobs. Everybody on campus really gives you high recommendations when you work for the school. On-campus jobs.
Looking back at my experience, I never would have guessed I would have learned this much and grown so much through just what I began just answering a simple email and saying, sure, I'll volunteer 2 days a week. When I first began, I thought it was simply going to help students with homework. But I learned that it was more about learning how to communicate, how to have leadership skills, and be seen as a role model. And so as those mentoring sessions kind of grew, and length of time building relationships with students, I got to see how they looked at me. They looked up to me for answers, for guidance, and that's what really kind of fueled my passion for education.
Huge benefits for community service. I think everybody should at least do it once. We have plenty of opportunities here with Adopted Grandparent, just getting involved in the community, also Mentor Oswego as well, working with the kids. Just anything to get you involved in the community brings as a more cohesive unit together. And things you can experience from her are just, the sky's the limit.
Hi. So when I was studying abroad in Barcelona, I learned a lot of fantastic and amazing things. Something that was definitely hard to learn was the language, because in Barcelona they speak actually Spanish and Catalan. It was actually pretty amazing. Once I came home from studying abroad, I was actually able to use all of the Spanish that I learned while I was working. I work in a hospital at home, and one of the patients was having trouble. They only spoke like a little bit of broken English and just straight Spanish, so I was actually able to help the doctor translate what was going on, where the pain was, and to actually help the patient, communicate with the doctor. So that was actually really rewarding, and I thought that was absolutely amazing, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to actually have the courage or the knowledge to translate or to communicate with this patient if it weren't for studying abroad.
And so I would definitely recommend any sort of service experience or experiential learning for students, because it really challenges you in ways that you won't experience or you won't expect. Anytime you're working with people, you have to expect the unexpected. What that does is that teaches you to be flexible, and it really forces you to grow in dynamic areas that you may not have if you were just doing a static position or a simple class. It's putting you out into the community and working with real people. It's not something in a textbook when you're talking about childhood development or answering questions. These are students and real life people with real life questions. So it's not, I work with a principal. It's not a distant person. I work with a person with an actual face, with family. And you get to also meet them out in the community. you feel a real sense of connectivity to the community because you're actively working to improve it. So when you're in the supermarket and you see students run up to you and pull on your parent leg and say, hey, are you going to be there on Monday? It gives you a real sense of connectivity and understanding that I'm making a difference, that these kids and students look to me to really kind of empower them and show them how to make a difference and to follow right in my footsteps. And that really is something that I never would have anticipated would have happened just from answering one simple email to volunteer 2 or 3 times a week.
I think that anyone who volunteers can get the same things out of it as I do. I was once a volunteer, which is why I decided to become a group leader and then the coordinator, because I really learned a lot more about myself through volunteering, as well as learning about others and their backgrounds, and just getting things out of it that like you can apply in the classroom by like listening and speaking and maintaining relationships with people that you wouldn't normally have relationships with.
So in my junior year here at SUNY Oswego, I started to look for an internship because I thought it'd be a good time to get going on something I'd want to do with my career. I'm a meteorology major, so I looked around and I found internships available at AccuWeather.com, a weather forecasting internship. So I applied. Over 100 people applied and 4 people got the internship. I was one of them. So over the summer of 2012, I went down to AccuWeather, located in State College, Pennsylvania. I got an incredible amount of experience in my field, and I even got to do some broadcast meteorology, radio meteorology, and general forecasting. Just a ton of experience, and it was really beneficial to my progression as a student meteorologist and then as a professional meteorologist, because recently I've been contacted by AccuWeather and they'd like me to return to work there once I graduate here in spring of 2013. So because of that internship, it opened a lot of doors, many connections, and I gained a ton of experience, and it helped me greatly achieve my goal of becoming a professional meteorologist.